Hey guys, it's Gabavr, and this time I show you the different methods to control Insta360 X3 or One RS, even the 1-inch 360 edition, including the latest accessories available, taking a look at in which situations to use them, and comparing the main differences between them. So let's jump into it. The first and really obvious way to control Insta360 cameras is using the touchscreen and the buttons on the camera body. In such case, X3 is the handiest 360 camera on the market, with a huge touchscreen and a very great structure of control buttons. It's very easy to navigate through all the recording options and see all the settings quickly and easily. Besides, this big screen is perfect for a decent preview, so we can use this camera in totally standalone mode without having to connect to the phone. Even more, we can save our own presets and access them directly by pushing the quick button on the side of the camera body. But in case of One RS, the basic method is not as powerful as in case of X3. The touchscreen is way smaller, so it's a little bit more difficult to navigate if you have bigger fingers, while overviewing the settings is not as easy as in the other case. It can take for a while if you want to make sure you have the proper settings, and this small screen is not always enough for a decent 360 preview neither. While One RS also has a quick menu with presets, the camera doesn't have a dedicated button to open it, so it's not as easy to access as with X3. On the other hand, this camera also has buttons to turn it on and off, and of course to start recording. So once you go through all your settings, then you can handle it very simply. In both cases, using X3 or One RS this way, you need to keep the camera in your hand. So if you mount the camera outside the car, to the ceiling, or in any further special positions, you might face difficulties in turning on and off your camera, or even start and stop recording. And if you use them with a very long selfie stick, you will record a lot of useless frames right after you start or before you stop recording, as you need to move the camera to get access to it. But you can solve this problem and even take further advantages by using the smartphone app as a controller. First, you get a big preview screen, doesn't matter which camera you use, while you get full control over all the possible settings. It's very easy to check out the exposure, doesn't matter if you set everything to auto or you shoot in manual mode. If auto settings is a little bit over or underexposed, you can see it and modify it manually for the perfect shot. And besides relying on your eyes, you can turn on histogram to get an accurate feedback. And it's super useful, especially in difficult light conditions. Even more, you can also turn on GPS, so your camera will record additional metadata provided by your phone. And if the camera moves along with the phone during recording, you can add stats to your videos later, which is an awesome feature. And of course, you can start and stop recording only by pressing the record button in the middle of the screen, while depending on your recording mode, you can watch the preview during recording. Among others, preview is not supported during HDR recording or in time-lapse mode. But you must keep your phone near the camera, and you have to keep your phone turned on. So you have to be sure that your phone is properly charged, while the screen of the camera will turn off to save battery power. You can free your hands by using a phone holder to mount your phone on the selfie stick, but don't forget you cannot connect your phone to further Wi-Fi networks during controlling the camera, and of course it's better to avoid using other applications, and it's the best to keep Insta360 app open all the time in shooting situations. So basically in such cases you cannot use the phone for anything else. And if you're wearing gloves or it's rainy outside, the smartphone touchscreen won't work perfectly. That's why I was very excited when Insta360 came out with the Power Selfie Stick, because I could get rid of the phone as a remote controller during handheld shots. It's simple but great. You can use it to switch between different modes and start and stop recording, while the extra battery in the selfie stick will provide even more power during shooting, keeping the camera charged for a longer time. You can use the selfie stick open to full length, and all the control buttons will still be at your hand, which is very comfortable. You won't record unnecessary frames in the beginning and the end of your video, because you can start recording at the proper camera position and stop recording without having to take the camera in hand. There are only a couple of cons, like although you can switch between different recording modes, you cannot modify all the settings on the stick, like switching frame rates or any manual settings. And unlike the smartphone method, you cannot add GPS data to your videos. And of course, as you must connect the selfie stick and the camera with a short cable, your camera won't be waterproof anymore. But if you really need to add GPS data to your clips and keep your camera waterproof, there's still a great solution using the brand new GPS Action remote. This small Bluetooth remote is waterproof just like X3, and thanks to the big recording button, you can use it even with gloves or in wet conditions too. With this accessory you can turn any of your other selfie sticks to a semi-power selfie stick. It won't charge your camera, but you'll be able to control it just like in that case, even more without having to use any additional cables. And of course this tiny device will provide GPS data for your clips, so you can add stats to your videos recorded this way. Stats can be added with the mobile app or in the latest Insta360 Studio desktop app. These apps will use the metadata of the raw INSV files. And of course, besides turning any of your selfie sticks into something like the Power Selfie Stick, you can use this remote in different ways, for instance mounting it on your bike or wear it as a smartwatch without having to hold anything in your hand. Unfortunately, it's not a totally perfect device neither, so just like the Power Selfie Stick, it won't give you full access to all the settings. Basically all you can do is only switch between the different shooting modes and of course start and stop recording. Even more, as you can use this remote with most of the Insta360 cameras, it will only support the basic modes like video, photo, time shift and loop recording, while it will skip such modes like time-lapse, active HDR or bullet time. But don't forget, it still has all the advantages I've already mentioned. After all, you can see all the pros and cons of the different methods, and I hope I could help you find out which accessories you need in your shooting situations. If you shoot a lot on the road, riding a bike or during some sports, the GPS Action remote is a great choice for you. While for handheld shots during hiking or traveling, the Power Selfie Stick can help you, especially with the extra battery power for a whole day. And for professional work, with the need for full control over the camera settings, your smartphone with the Insta360 app will be a great controller. While X3 also has a great advantage with its huge touchscreen, and in many cases you can use it without having to connect it to any further devices. So I hope you found this short tutorial useful, and if you do, please thumbs up, and for further 360 contents and tutorials, subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.